Insecurity might be the biggest reason that's stopping you from becoming a better developer and making the money that you want to make and having the career that you want to have. I have a funny, crazy story to tell you, but I can tell you this. It's affecting a lot of different areas of your life, and it depends on who you're around and also depends on you as well. And so it really like makes a difference between everything, like you being able to achieve your goals or not. So a funny thing happened today. One of my friends, or one of the people that works on my team, reached out to him and I said, hey, somebody on my, we're like, yo, you're kind of getting fat. And I just reached out to him and told him directly, said, hey, you're getting fat. You have an environment that's making you very comfortable and cozy, and you are getting out of shape. And I don't think that's something that you want. And you've expressed that to me already. And what's going to happen as a result of it, if you keep going down this path, okay, and again, the reason I'm telling you this story, it's important. And I will tell you why to you it actually involves you as a developer as well. But let me just finish this, right? So I'm like, why you're going down this path, and bro, it's not a good look on you. When you have kids 10 years from now, 5 years from now, or whatever, and you want to play with them and hang out with them and do all this stuff, like you're not going to be able to do a lot of those things because you're going to be huffing and panting, and you're just going to be one of those dads that just sits there on the side and watches their kid play, and it's kind of useless, right? Can't play soccer with their kids, can't do this, can't do that. You might want to, but like it's hard for you because you're fucking fat and like out of shape and you have no stamina left. And you're going to regret this. And so what I recommend is you go to the gym and like take care of yourself. And here's the cool thing. Here's what happened. He listens to this, sends me a message and goes, thank you so much, Kazi. This was a much needed message. I really appreciate you. He's like, I saved your audio and I'm going to listen to it every day. And he said, it's 11 p.m. right now. And you know what? I'm going to go to the gym right now. And then he sent me a photo of him going into the elevator and then another photo of him at the gym actually working out. And I was like, this is amazing. This is fascinating. I just spoke to him and just gave him actual feedback. And then 2 minutes later, he was actually already implementing it and improving his life. And who's really going to benefit out of this? Like, am I really going to get a huge benefit whether he follows the advice or not? I'm really not. Nothing really changes in my life. I will continue doing what I'm doing. But he just took the advice and he got no ego involved in there. And he just is becoming a way better person and he's changing his life. And like his girlfriend will thank him and his kids will thank him if he has kids eventually in the future. And like he himself will thank himself because he just added like another 10, 20 years to his life by making these decisions. It's a domino effect. If he goes today, he's more likely to go tomorrow. If he goes tomorrow, he's even more likely to go 2 days from now. And I just told him, I'm like, bro, you have to start today because you're going to regret it as a day passes, a week passes. So like you cannot. You just have to go fucking today. And so one, it's being able to honestly tell people your opinion. But two, it's how people perceive it. So, and I'm going to give you another story as well, which is the actual complete opposite. But to make it relevant to you right now, I'm just going to share with you. It's like, if you are getting feedback from somebody on how you can improve as a developer and you're not able to take that, that's going to hinder your progress. You're not going to get to where you want to get to. You're not going to learn the skills that you have to. And developers are very insecure. Like one of the reasons why I believe a lot of the developers don't even look into ChatGPT or Claude or use it heavily is because they're worried that they're going to get replaced. So then if they just don't use it, that's kind of their way of boycotting it and not falling victim to this inevitable AI that eventually will be the all-seeing, all-knowing thing that like almost everybody will have to know how to use, and it will do all of the coding underneath you. And I'm going to expand more on this, but let me tell you now the opposite story. I was on a call with another friend, and we were talking, and I was like, hey, we should do XYZ. And we should work on this project together. And this friend was like pretty excited. And so we jump into and, start working on this project. And once we started working on it, her and she started to have like issues with how I was communicating it, because I was really excited and I was telling her all these ideas. She thought I was being demeaning to her and patronizing to her and not really caring about her opinions, when in fact what was actually happening was when I get excited like a child, so start blurting out all my ideas. But I am a very assertive, very expressive, very communicative person. So to people who are non-assertive or slightly lower on the confidence scale, they often get threatened by that and think that what's happening is I am attacking them and shutting them down. And if you have followed me or you know me from the channel, like that's just how I speak. And Naz, who's my best friend and also my co-founder in the business that we're building right now, him and I are speaking like this to each other all the time. I'm like, dude, what if we run Facebook ads and we do this thing and then we get like 5 new customers? And he's like, yes. And also if we do a YouTube thing on top of it or do Instagram ads, that could add another 3 to 4 sales a day. And then we just keep building on top of each other's ideas. And so what happened was like her insecurity was kind of triggered with that. And so then we started going deeper into it. It's like, hey, what's going on? Like, why are you feeling this way? And she's like, well, and then what was happening was how this insecurity was coming out. She would just keep saying stuff very didactically without any level of curiosity. And she'd be like, well, this thing that you're saying is just this, right? And I'm like, yeah, it is. She's like, it's just this, right? And I'm like, yeah, it is. But we wouldn't get into, like, she wouldn't ask me actual questions like, oh, what are the things that we could do with these Facebook ads? Are there things that could we do a 7-day thing? Could we do a 10-day thing? What was happening was when I was sharing my ideas on these Facebook ads, she was just really frustrated and upset because she's like, well, you're telling me something that I have already learned. And so now when you're doing this, you're patronizing me and condescending to me. So I'm going to spend all this time on proving to you that I actually know, but do it passive aggressively. And it just got weird. And we ended up wasting like 2 hours, like talking about it, or 3 hours. And I'll be honest, I was dysregulated and I was triggered as well because I was frustrated. And I was like, why the fuck do we have to go and have this like random battle and waste all this energy when like you could have just shared your ideas and I could have just shared mine, and then we would be like 20 ideas later, like talking about something absolutely incredible and like building something absolutely incredible. And instead what has happened is like we just talked about something nonsensical and whatnot. And so it's like everybody has their own opinion. And I'll be honest, I got dysregulated and I got pretty angry and heated in that, and I shouldn't have, and I think I could have replied better and dealt with it better. But my point is not that. My point is this. Look at the 2 different scenarios. On one side, you talk to somebody and they just instantly implement. On the other side, you talk to somebody, they get defensive, they get insecure, and they just shut down. And when they shut down, and let me tell you, here's the interesting thing. With the person that was motivated, when I told him like to go work out and then he did, well, guess what? Now I want to take that advice even more because I'm like, oh shit, like now he's going and working out, so I got to go and work out. So like not only did he improve his life and add massive value to his life, by him taking action that fast, I want to take action that fast, and I want to go to the gym even more tomorrow. And so like both of our lives actually got massive value. Now think of the other situation where there was insecurity involved. She got insecure and then she kind of shut down, and then I kind of shut down. And what happened as a result is like no progress was made on those ideas. And then next time I'm about to get into idea generation or brainstorming sessions with her, I'm going to be much more hesitant, much more like, what's it called? Like walking on eggshells, right? To actually share my thought. And I think that in the development world, when you're coding, it's the same exact way, which is you can have 2 people that you could teach coding to. You could have one person where you just tell them exactly the feedback that they need to improve. Hey, you need to actually write your code better. You need to refactor your code better. Hey, you should use Firebase instead of this other technology. Hey, you should not leave your Firebase code and not do like unsubscribe, and you should make sure you unsubscribe so you don't have like random memory leakage. hey, instead of doing all this class-based React components, you should make it more functional. And the list goes on. And there's one person that just instantly does it and going twice the speed and then taking your idea and building on top of it and goes, yes, you're right. I just learned about functional components. And guess what? There's actually even a newer way to do it. And with Next, you can actually use server-side actions. And now these two guys are building and they're giving each other feedback and they're just like flying, right? Like ping-ponging and flying. And then you have the other guy where you tell him this and he's like, well, I already knew this. I know this. And you're like, yeah, you know this, but you still fucking suck. Like, you still actually got the problem wrong. You still wrote like class-based code. So like, knowledge doesn't mean anything. Like, actually make it functional. Yeah, functional. I already know functional. JSX, React 18. You're like, do you have Tourette's? Like, what is going on? Like, why are you just randomly blurting out these didactic things that you just know stuff, but like, who cares? Like, it's not even about that. It's like, doesn't matter if you're right or wrong or you know more or I know less. Like, let's just do the thing correctly. Like, sure, you know everything, but let's just do this thing correctly. And what happens is in the process is like one person is like, there's one pair that's winning and the other pair that's just stuck in taking each other down. And always starts off with one motherfucker being insecure. Two is horrible, but like starts off with one. And so it's like, it could be you or the other person that could be insecure, but it will lead to your downfall. So look at your friends that you're learning coding around, or you're trying to become a better developer around. If they're really insecure people, you have to then be like, I have to maybe around somebody who's not as insecure and has more confidence, because you guys are going to ping pong each other to success. 2, look at the reflection and look at yourself. Are you insecure? Are you having trouble taking feedback? Are you having trouble applying the AI stack and like actually coding with it and becoming a better developer? If somebody gives you a resource, hey, use this library, do you try to use that library, or you just go, no, it's better to code it with hands because you're actually getting insecure because there's something somebody else knows that could be better? I believe it's keeping a lot of people stuck and not allowing you to improve your level. So I challenge you to look for one insecurity, either in somebody you're working with or in yourself, and try to improve it. And when you get feedback or criticism, instead of spending time defending yourself, if you think they are objectively, I say it like this. I made a rule with Nas. I said, if you give me criticism or feedback on something that will improve my life, I will never fight you. It's a simple rule. That's it. Outside of that, yeah, I will get ugly and fight you. Like if you say some weird shit, like he said something the other day, which was like kind of pissed me off. And I was like, bro, I'm offended by that. Like, why would you think this? And then we kind of talked about it, right? But if it's something like, before, if he's like, dude, you chewed with your mouth open, don't do that. Before I might fight him or he might fight me if I tell him that. Now we just go, okay, cool. Why? Because it's going to improve my life. Like I already know, I can think one step ahead and go, is that going to improve my life or hurt my life if I actually listen to him? If it's going to improve my life, I'm going to shut the fuck up and I'm just going to do that thing. Only if it's not, if I don't think genuinely it's going to improve my life, then I will have a conversation about it. But most things, that's my rule. So if somebody's talking to you and they're saying something, and if you do it and it improves your life, try not to defend yourself. Just do that thing instead. Peace.